Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Gian from Daniel and Gian Talk Shit. That's Daniel, I'm Gian. Today we're going to be talking about... Wait, what am I talking about? This is episode number 2, official. For those of you that may have listened to 1.5, we said we have 7 followers. I just found out that that's a lie. We actually only have 1 real follower and the rest are bots. Apparently, people that use SoundCloud are also big-time pervs that are trying to get laid by fake women on the internet from their SoundCloud, I guess.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of rappers and stuff.
Okay, so there's a...
I mean, because there's a lot of big titty bots following us.
Right. Yeah, right now we are cornering the market.
Is that a little racist?
On big titty bots.
But I'm assuming that...
Is that racist?
Yeah.
Like you said, rapper?
Yeah. I guess there's no...
It's
I'm not
mutually
attributing it...
exclusive.
I think I just made it a racist.
You did. Now you actually did by questioning it. Yeah, absolutely. Super racist. But we already explained in our first podcast that we can't say anything racist because we're on the bottom rung of ethnicities.
Yeah. And we don't care.
And we really don't care.
But anyway, sausage party. That's what this episode's about.
About sausage party. So yeah, it's for those of you that don't know, it's Seth Rogen's latest picture. It's animated, R-rated, off-color comedy. Before I even talk about the movie, Daniel got there a little late to the theater, but yeah, why don't you tell us about your drive, Daniel? How was that?
I guess this is going to be a thing. We're just going to talk about my drive at the beginning of every podcast.
Little backstory. Daniel doesn't like to pay rent, which is fair, so he lives with his mom in Carson, which for those of you not familiar with Southern California is the middle of fucking nowhere. There's nothing going on in Carson, but he grew up in San Pedro, which is right next to it, and to save money on rent, he will sacrifice his body and car to drive 15 to 25 miles.
25 today.
And take 3 hours doing so because of living in oblivion in Los Angeles traffic and so on and so forth.
At the end of the day, it's worth it. But no, it was pretty intense. I sent you my Waze thing, which I didn't know you could do. Which I guess you can like stalk me. I guess that's how it works. It's kind of weird.
Well, I can only stalk you if you offer to allow me to stalk you.
Oh.
Like, you have to send me.
Yeah, that's an interesting feature. I guess you can send them your GPS points and they can watch where you drive. Because you were texting me, use the right lane. I'm like, what? How do you know where I'm at?
You said you were on the 110 in downtown, so like there's always like that exit lane.
Yeah, I always use that.
Yeah, and
that's my shortcut.
Drive
Which
past.
I feel like Waze kind of fucked up because Waze started telling everyone to do that.
Oh.
So I've noticed since Waze came out that it's been a little more congested.
Right.
So now it's a wash. But anyway, yeah, my drive was great. It was a nice hour-long drive. That's really it.
In normal places, his drive would be like a half an hour at the most. But
yeah, in normal places, to get 25 miles, exactly, that's like 30 minutes tops. And that's with traffic. But in LA, 25 miles is an hour drive minimum. But
it's worth it, right?
For me, it is.
So anyway, Daniel got to the theater a little late. He missed most of the previews, and I found it really interesting that the first 4 or 5 previews were all horror movies. And I was like, I thought we were watching a comedy, and it was all horror movies, like one right after the other.
I have a theory, maybe because it's produced by Annapurna, but she doesn't really do, well, not she, but the company doesn't do a lot of horrors, but I don't know. I don't know what the horror movies were, so I can't comment. Are they good trailers?
I mean, there's the Ridley Scott movie coming out. What's it called? Like
the new Alien movie? They showed the trailer for the new Alien?
Morgan. No, it's called Morgan.
Oh, when they're like, that's a test subject or something?
Yeah, they're like in some old abandoned house, and there's some
I do want to see that.
Little girl, and yeah, it was interesting. And then we cut to a Kevin Hart trailer.
Those are always great.
So it wasn't a Kevin Hart movie, though. It was this like new comedy special that's getting released.
Oh, the one where it starts off like a James Bond movie?
Yeah, exactly. They do that, and then after that, they do The Mechanic 2 with Jason Statham. So
also, this is great cinema.
So we went from low budget horror films to Kevin Hart comedy special to low budget action movie. And then I think there was one more trailer, and it may have finally been a comedy.
Bad Santa 2.
Bad
That's
Santa
when I
2.
got there. It was
Yeah,
Bad Santa 2.
that was the last trailer. And then that stupid Coke commercial where the kids are singing the
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
jingle, and
Cinemark, if you're listening, which I doubt you are, but if you are, you should probably change that.
yeah, that was awful. Like, how does that make anyone happy? It just makes me angry.
It makes me want to turn on my cell phone and start texting people.
Right, exactly. And we all know those kids are playing Pokemon Go anyways.
Right. I'm looking at Annapurna's lineup, and none of those movies that we mentioned are in them. Their next film is The Bad Bitch.
Ooh, she a bad bitch.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's in it, and so is Khal Drogo, whatever his name is in real life.
Jason Momoa, I think.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what'd you think of the movie?
All right, guys.
Because I have a lot of opinions about the movie.
I'm just gonna cut right to it. Cut to the chase. Sausage Party fucking sucked. I don't understand why Seth Rogen keeps getting like the green light to make these movies. It's not fucking funny. It's just a lot of F-bombs, a lot of potty humor, no sexual innuendo, just straight sexual references. It's just really sophomoric high school shit. It totally fits the stoner brand that he promotes. Like he was in his living room smoking dabs with his buddy fucking Evan Goldman or
Goldberg.
Evan Goldberg, and they're like, wouldn't it be funny if we did Toy Story but with grocery products, and then and then like they're alive and then they try to survive from humans. Oh, dude. It kind of reminded me of Kevin Smith's Tusk, where it was the same thing. Like,
Well, I like Tusk.
yeah. There's these guys were on a podcast, ironically enough, and they were smoking pot and decided to come up with the script there on the spot. And because he was Kevin Smith, he was allowed to make that fucking turd, Tusk, that Daniel liked.
I did like Tusk.
Which was also just, I don't know, man. Like that movie, like this Sausage Party didn't piss me off the way Tusk did. Tusk, I was like upset, like angered because
someone actually gave him that much money to make that movie.
Someone gave him the money to make that movie. And you could have done and given like an up-and-coming filmmaker a chance to do something. Because it wasn't like a...
By the way, Gian is not peeing. He's pouring himself a glass of something.
I'm pouring a glass of water because I'm...
But it sounds like piss.
Yeah, not pissing. Well, I don't think you got the echo that you do when you get into the bathroom. Like, that's all... Dead giveaway, guys. If you're going to talk on the phone in the bathroom, the echo, like, everyone knows you're taking a shit.
Yeah. No, I actually was annoyed. So, to compliment your point about the whole high school humor thing, the person to my right had to have been, like, 15 years old. Because he was just laughing at everything, the whole fucking movie. And, like, really stupid, the things that weren't even jokes that he was laughing at. I too thought this movie was a stupid piece of shit. It had funny moments, which we'll get into. There's definitely funny bits, like small bits, but
really teeny tiny bits. I think I never laughed once. I may have
chuckled. I chuckled.
Slightly chuckled like 2 or 3 times.
Make a positive grimace, but that was really it.
And I'll be honest with you guys, like I didn't go in with high expectations at all. I was expecting it to suck, and it it fulfilled my expectations, I guess. It was just, why did this need to get made?
One of the directors, I'm reading, because it was a 2-director thing. I didn't know, I watched the first trailer when it came out, the teaser, but I just knew it was a Seth Rogen film. I thought he directed it with Evan Goldberg, but apparently he didn't. And one of them actually started with Thomas and Friends, the Thomas the Train Engine.
Wow.
And so I guess he graduated to this.
Okay. You want to call it that?
But,
I mean, I'm surprised. Like, I recognized a lot of voices, and it was shocking that so many like people would even like lend their name to this. Like Edward Norton is a voice in the movie. Salma Hayek is a voice in the movie. I understand Nick Kroll and.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Seth Rogen's a likable guy.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like it.
Come in for a few days to do a voice for this. We're gonna pay you X amount of money. I could see why.
and it'll be funny.
I mean, like I said, when I was watching
That's
this,
my
I'm like,
terrible
this
Seth
is
Rogen.
it's probably good on the page. Like I feel like this was a funny script, where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see it, and then
Well, no, I didn't see any jokes that were like smart. There was nothing.
it was very on the nose.
Yeah.
The last 5 minutes of the movie was terrible. The whole orgy.
Yeah, there was like a produce or food orgy, where put it in my buns and shit. Like I don't know.
It was a one-note joke that they stretched into 80 minutes.
Yeah. The one guy. I mean, just there's a Middle Eastern character that plays Lavash, and it was just played by a Jewish guy, mind you. And it's just racist as fuck. Like,
Which is,
They were trying
racist
to-
humor is fine because it can be funny, but this one just, it didn't seem like it had an intent behind it.
Lavash was angry and hated the bagel because guess what? The bagel's a Jew who's it Edward Norton the bagel? Edward Norton was doing his best Woody Allen.
Yeah, his best, exactly. Best Woody Allen. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It was a good Woody Allen. Nick Kroll was doing his bro character from his show, like his total
The
Jersey
douche.
Shore douche guy.
Who he plays a douche.
Yeah,
Which
he plays an
I-
actual douche.
I thought that was funny.
It was alright.
I mean, like I said, the jokes weren't funny. It's the concepts.
Right.
Like his introduction, the douche's introduction, I thought was nice. Because he was walking around talking shit to Potato Chip, whatever. I mean, again, this is funny on paper. I feel like it's a funny discussion in the writer's room.
It's
wouldn't
funny-
It, wouldn't it be funny if X, Y, and Z?
Right.
Wouldn't it be funny if?
When you're sitting on a couch smoking pot
Right. That's what. Yeah, exactly.
with your friend, it's
Wouldn't it
funny.
be funny if we had a douche character and he was an actual douche and he acted like a douche? Like that's funny. You would laugh at that.
I don't know if I would.
Well, I'm saying I could see
Right.
where they're.
Okay. I know you're kind of playing devil's advocate. That's fine.
Oh, I didn't like the movie. This is to me. This is an example of why Rotten Tomatoes collection of reviews is stupid. Because I feel like I know for a fact that this is certified fresh. I'm pretty sure it's like an 83%.
Right, by the critics or the viewers though.
Critics.
Yeah, see, I don't pay attention to critics ever.
No, I know. I'm just saying though that that's why it's a website like that is rubbish.
Right. No, it's
Because this, I understand the concept behind Rotten Tomatoes. It's a collection of reviews, and 83% are positive, and it's just bullshit. Because just going back on Suicide Squad wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but it was a fucking way better movie than this. Yes, they're two different movies. One's a comic book movie, one's not. One's animated, one's real. But at the end of the day, I mean, some of these jokes were just really fucking lame. Like, really lame.
yeah, there was just
Like Mr.
terrible.
Grits and Twinkie, like, those are really the Indian, the Native American,
Right.
who's playing, I guess he's like a Jack Daniels bottle. Really wasn't sure.
His name was Firewater,
So I'm assuming.
and he's dressed up like a Native American. He's got like the feather in his hair.
And they smoke pot out of a kazoo,
They smoke pot out of a kazoo. I guess smoking pot out of a kazoo is supposed to be funny.
or make sense.
Yeah.
The world was kind of confusing as well, and I feel like towards the end I think I understood it, but so because you had left to the restroom at one point, and when
I actually left to go get sugar because I was passing out from boredom.
yeah, it was pretty boring. It was pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie. It really, if anyone tells you this is like one of the greatest, this is a great comedy, you really need to second guess them because this wasn't. But anyway, you had left, and there's a moment when Michael Cera's sausage character is in the street, and he's wandering the street, and he sees a quote unquote another sausage, but it ends up being a turd with corn, and the corn are like zombies.
Right.
Again, childish humor. But anyway, in that scene, he also stumbles upon a condom, a used
I
condom.
walked in like towards the end of that exchange.
And so I'm thinking to myself, wait, I'm confused because so far only food products have spoken. Why is this condom talking?
Well, the douche was talking.
But no, so I thought, oh, I'm like, oh, anything from the store that you could buy at like that, those must be the rules of the world. Like
Right.
anything you would find at this store talks. But I didn't know. But they don't set it up. Yeah, the douche is one thing, but other than
Right,
that,
because like the bushes weren't talking.
the knives weren't talking later.
Right.
Like, there's some inconsistencies. Obviously, there's some leaps of faith that you got to take. Whatever, but it wasn't. For me, it wasn't thought out. Like, I
So
feel like
if
this is
you
the first or
don't-
second
if you
draft.
don't go and watch this movie, which I totally recommend that you don't.
For other reasons, which we'll get into as well.
Yeah, but there's
Them not paying their animators and all that controversial stuff.
Yeah.
Which, but anyway, finish your point.
So there's like two universes. There's the food and grocery store products universe, and then there's the human universe. So the humans can't see the things talking or even moving or anything, but they can see the humans moving. Just like, I mean, I guess kind of like Toy Story, but I mean in Toy Story they just freeze whenever they see a human because they don't want to get caught.
Right. In Toy Story, they probably could do something. Like, humans would be able to see them if they did move.
Right, exactly. But then there's a twist in this movie that the humans can see and interact with the food products if they ingest bath salts.
Which I actually liked.
I guess, I mean, when I hear about bath salts, people are like eating people's faces.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I like that they did bath salts. I'm just like, I like the concept that the one dude who kind of sees them after tripping out, I like that. Because they didn't have to do that.
Right.
But they did it anyway.
So that's the only way you can interact with the food products is if you're on bath salts, which is how they win at the end.
Which I wish they went farther with that. I feel like if they would have cut to like a news story, and maybe that's the whole time everyone went crazy on bath salts, they were just seeing food
Right.
talk, and that's why they were being fucking crazy.
Oh, and at the end of the movie, the Native American, the chief says, "Oh, we're not food products. We're actually cartoons." And then they went into some fucking what is that? Stargate.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that was that was
just out of nowhere. Like, who cares? Like, I mean, by then I was completely checked out, so it was just more stupid upon stupid.
well, so listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, he talks about doing those type of drugs, not bath salts, but like I
Like-
believe ketamine and like DMT and stuff like that, where you can
Right.
have these out of body experiences. And once you do it, he says that when he does it, he kind of becomes aware of the world.
Right.
Like that there's a hidden reality, quote unquote, right? So as I'm watching the fucking one human character that you pretty much interact with for the whole movie, and he comes to reality, sees the food or whatever, essentially that's what they're saying at the end. Like, the cartoons are coming to their own reality. So I feel like it's a joke on that. So I feel like at some point, Seth or Evan or Jonah or whoever, they must have were on DMT at some point, and they had that reality and intercut it with the story. That's my thing, and I
Okay.
wouldn't have got that unless I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Right. Well,
But that didn't make the movie any better.
no.
I just understood a possible reference to them being fucking baked out of their mind while they were making this movie.
Right. Right.
Um,
I mean, I kind of want to just go off on a rant on Seth Rogen, but maybe we'll talk about the other reasons why you shouldn't watch this movie first.
Well, before we get to that, this is a side note, and this is really for kind of just, it's kind of a personal thing for you and me, because people listening might not know. But we actually watched this movie at USC, but not this version.
Did we?
Michelle's short film was this movie.
Her 310?
No, it was a 290, but it was stop motion.
Oh, that's right.
So to the listeners out there, you have no idea what we're talking about. We graduated USC Film School in 2014, and we both transferred in 2012. So at the film program, you have to take a mandatory production class that every single film student has to take, and it's your introductory to film. It's called 290. You make 5 movies in a semester. And that's where Gian and I met. And there was a student in this class who made a film. It wasn't animated, though. It was stop motion. And it was about fruits and vegetables, living this happy life, and then the movie turns into a horror film because the vegan, I believe the owner was like a vegan or something like that, or
Right.
whatever. and then she starts killing them because she's making a salad or something like that. But it's the same. It's obviously it's not the same thing, but it's very, very similar. And when the trailer first came out, I remember messaging her and say, "Hey, have you seen the trailer for Sausage Party?" She didn't because why, you know, why would she? And I sent it to her, and she's like, "Oh my God, it is! Like it's very similar." But so for me, I was thinking about it the whole time because a lot of the
Right.
jokes are the same. I'm not obviously Seth Rogen probably didn't see the short film,
No,
but
we're not saying that
it
at
is
all, no.
weird that we have seen this before. So to me, it's not that creative. That's not a knock on Michelle. I'm just saying that, you know, for me, I've seen it before.
I
It
mean, and she
wasn't
did a
new,
whole stop motion with it too, which
which is for me it was better.
yeah, it takes a lot of effort and stuff to do that. And she did it by herself, like, and it was a 5 minute short. I mean, it was less than 5 minutes, so like.
But that's not a reason to go see it. The
No.
real reason to not go see it now, because when I was reading about this at first, these articles. So for those of you who don't know, this movie has a lot of controversy around it, stemming from the animators. Apparently, there was at one point 80 or 90 animators doing this film, and in the credits, there's only about 40. So about half of them never got credited, and that was because they were forced to work overtime for no pay, for free. And if they didn't do it, they'd get fired or replaced. And then so longer hours, forced overtime, threatening their jobs if they didn't basically comply to that. And just to keep production costs low, because this was a $20 million film. And so, that's when I was first reading the article, I'm like, well, this is kind of common. I mean, it's not common in the sense that when Pixar does a movie, they're not paying for overtime. What I mean by that is, when some of these companies, and not for animated films, but just the movie industry in general, take a movie like Tarzan, I'm sure that they outsource some of these animating jobs
Yep.
to keep production costs low. So they might still be making money working overtime, but they're working extremely long hours for non-union wages, et cetera, et cetera. So when I was reading it, I'm not saying that I wasn't bothered by it, but it wasn't something for me like, no, I wouldn't go watch the movie because of it. Even though a lot of my Facebook friends were like, don't watch the movie, because you're going to be supporting it, whatever. But for me, to me, it wasn't a big deal. But now watching it, now knowing it's a piece of shit, definitely don't want it. Just don't watch it. Mostly because it's a piece of shit. But now I can pretend to support the cause
Right.
of the animators.
Okay, you can champion it.
Yeah.
I had no idea until right before we watched the movie. My sister's boyfriend was telling me about that aspect of it. That shit sucks.
It does.
And it's like, unfortunately, it's part of the industry. Like, what they do is like, hey, we need you to do this for this amount of money. And if you say, no, I can't, they're like, okay. And they go and use somebody else. And depending on who you said no to, you might not be able to grab a big job again, at least not for a while.
Yep.
So then that kind of forces you into taking these shitty jobs just so that you can keep your name out there.
Especially if I don't know the people involved, but if you're young or this is like one of your first major films, you don't want to lose that opportunity.
Yeah, this isn't going to affect Pixar. It'll never happen to Pixar. It won't happen to anything like Lucasfilms is connected to. Like none of the big boys. It'll never.
It's the non-union projects.
DreamWorks. It won't.
Like this.
They're fine, but the little guys, people starting out, you're a target, and they're going to take advantage of you, and you're going to say yes so that you can get.
Which is why I was saying when I first read the article, I'm like, this doesn't surprise me.
No.
This is what happens. Like I said, they will get paid overtime, I'm sure, but they're not going to get paid what they should get paid.
Right. Well, they have a budget, and everything's got to be done.
Yep.
They can't. You can't go over that budget. If you go over that budget, then you're going to get into trouble.
Yep.
Because
19 million's low, but it's a lot. It's still a lot of money.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this happens to post-production more than anything. Like, post-production people are the ones that end up getting fucked more than anybody else.
Because they cut corners. They've already spent most of the money prepping the movie, shooting the movie, with talent and everything. So now they have the short end of the stick. Because now you're up. Not only are you up against a deadline, you also run out of money too. So it's even tighter deadlines.
I have no idea how long it took to make this movie either. Like, I'm not.
I don't know either. I really don't.
As far as I know, this is like a 1 or 2 year. I mean, the animation looks good. It doesn't look. It's not bad looking animation.
The animation's fine.
Yeah, it was. So it's not like. I know sometimes there's like a Kung Fu Panda cartoon on Disney XD.
I haven't seen it.
It looks like shit. It's terrible. You know, especially when you compare it to the movie. The movie looks awesome. Then you see the everyday TV show, and it's like, it's generic looking. It's like something they threw together. In
The first few episodes of the Star Wars animated show were pretty, like, bland, and then they got used to it. I'm sure they finally like, oh, we know how to streamline it now that we can actually make it look good. And as the series went on, it started looking like really good.
Right.
That's also a different animation style. But I thought, the movie looked good. So those 80 people who worked on it, you guys did a good job. Sucks that you're not gonna get the recognition, but I don't know if I'd want to put my name on it.
Right.
I'd want the paycheck for sure, but
well, they're not in control of the story, so that's not.
No, that's true. But it's an interesting thing to talk about. Like I said, I definitely don't recommend the movie. I'm just gonna keep saying that. That way, people, if they tune in at any point, they'll know that this movie sucks.
If you didn't hear yet, don't watch Sausage Party.
I mean, watch it. Watch it.
No, bootleg it. Like,
yeah, wait till
you're gonna support somebody.
Wait till it's on Netflix.
Support the Mexican guy in downtown with the DVDs. Support the black guy with the DVDs in his jacket.
Now I see more Mexicans. Maybe it's just being in LA, but
in LA it's for sure. But the black guys aren't getting their bootlegs, from the Mexican guys, or maybe they are. I don't know.
I'm just saying, if I'm sitting down at a restaurant eating, you have the Mexican guy come in, and he's like, you want to see blah 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 blah,
for
whatever.
Sure. Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, they're not all Mexicans.
I'm sure there's Asian people that bootleg too.
Well, I'm saying they're not they could be El Salvadorians. We're kind of lumping them all together.
Okay,
They're brown.
I'm Puerto Rican Mexican, guys.
Yeah, see.
My family, born and raised in Puerto Rico, but you know what? There's no Puerto Ricans on the West Coast, and you guys
get lumped in.
You guys have no idea, the differences between the Latin American ethnicities. So fuck it, I'm Mexican too.
See, that's the way it works.
So now I call other ethnicities Mexican too, and they hate it. But that's another podcast that we're probably never gonna have either.
You never know.
Maybe we'll bring in someone from Honduras, and then we'll have a discussion about being called Mexican every day, even though they're not.
So what did you, overall, story-wise, not talking shit, but the story of the film, what did you think of the story?
I was underwhelmed. Honestly, I was bored the entire time. Like,
I did want it to be over quicker.
Yeah, I don't know if there was just the inner hater in me, because I'm a big-time hater. And I completely accept that.
I like Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's work. But I feel like it's to me it's the law of diminishing returns.
It's just
they started off well.
See, let's come on, guys. Let's go through Seth Rogen's writing so far.
Super bad.
Okay, so apparently he wrote on the Undeclared, which I never watched, and the Ali G show, but nobody knows. Super bad.
Hilarious.
Superbad was good. I like Superbad. How much of it was the writing though? How much of it was Michael Cera? Michael Cera was amazing. Bill Hader was great.
It's
the
a good
performances
film.
are great. But how much? I mean, in a feature film, how much of that goes to the writer? How much of that goes to the director?
I don't know. We do know, but we don't know for that particular film.
Greg Mottola directed that.
Yep.
And he also directed Paul and Adventureland.
Greg's good. I like Greg.
Greg, you guys are best friends. Let's just call him, talking about him.
Well, his name's Greg. It's not like I said, oh, I like working with Bob in reference to Robert De Niro.
Right.
I like Bobby.
Bobby.
His name's Greg. What do you want me to call him?
After Superbad, he wrote Drillbit Taylor. That fucking sucked.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
Pineapple Express. I don't think it's that great. Some people love it. I think it's a 50-50 movie.
It is. To me, it's like a 60-40. It kind of falls down at the end, but it's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's not great. Then he wrote The Green Hornet. Fucking turd.
Well,
that movie. You liked The Green Hornet.
Yeah.
You're like one of 3 people that likes The Green Hornet. Daniel also likes The Crystal Skull, so just keep that in mind.
I do.
He's the only guy that defends Crystal Skull, the worst Indiana Jones movie ever fucking made.
Well, Temple of Doom is pretty.
Oh my God! Shut your fucking mouth! I will kick you out of my house right now. We're not gonna get into that. Okay, The Green Hornet. That fucking sucked. The Watch. I watched 20 minutes of it and turned it off because it sucked.
Which one's that?
The Watch, where they're like the aliens invade and it's Vince Vaughn and
They wrote that?
he wrote that, yeah. Well, I don't know if the other guy was involved with it too. That movie sucked.
They wrote The End of Watch?
Yeah.
That movie was terrible.
Um,
I don't believe that. I don't
did you
think
say
they
End
did.
of Watch?
Isn't that what it was called?
No, The Watch. Aliens invade this like small town.
Yeah, with Vince Vaughn and
yeah, and the British black guy
who ends up being an alien.
He was the alien. Fucking racist.
Yeah,
So the black
he
guy
is.
turns into he's an alien. I've never seen This Is
Why
the
am I
End.
not seeing this movie on IMDb?
I hear This Is the End is funny.
You've never seen This Is the End?
No, just no. It has Channing Tatum in it, and I try not to watch anything with Channing Tatum.
Spoiler.
So I don't know. He wrote The Interview. Oh my God.
Yeah, that movie.
See,
sucked.
I think the whole Sony hack was made up because this movie was gonna suck.
That movie.
So they
really
used
sucked.
it to like promote the movie. Like,
Yeah, they did write The Watch. God, that movie fucking sucked.
Then we have Sausage Party, and then he was allowed to write Neighbors 2. He didn't write Neighbors 1.
I didn't see Neighbors 2.
You didn't see Neighbors 1.
I did see Neighbors 1.
Okay, well,
It was funny.
I haven't seen Neighbors 2 either, but what I'm getting at is this guy keeps on getting chances to write movies,
No,
and
they're not-
most of
they're
them
not
suck.
Chances. They're not chances. His movies make money. And he's
Did The Interview make money? Did The Watch make money? I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what it is. It's you people.
well, I feel like Interview.
I feel like The Green Hornet was a bomb, and that was a big budget movie.
I don't know if it was a bomb in the sense it didn't make money, but I don't think it tanked where it didn't make. I don't think it lost money. I just don't think it made money, which to me isn't the same thing.
I mean, well, the problem with that is too, like, we can't accurately, like, all right, for those of you that don't realize how making money in the feature film industry is, you have to make most of your money back the very first weekend the movie comes out. And basically the first 3 weeks are the only parts of the movie that the studio makes money. And then after the third week, the box office, the theaters keep everything.
So it varies movie to movie. Because like Star Wars, that was different. But usually the way it is like opening weekend.
Star Wars in 1977?
No, the most recent
Okay.
one. But usually there's a split at the box office. So usually the percentage is like 90 to 10. So the studio makes 90%, and the movie theater makes 10% of all of the money that it made for the weekend. And as the weeks go on, that percentage shifts. So, after week 3,
By the third week, it's like almost nothing for the studio.
well, it depends on the movie. That's why I brought up Star Wars. It depends on the movie. Like Star Wars, it maintained that split for a while. It wasn't 90-10 for that, but it was like by week 3, it was still like 80-20. Like they were still making most of that money. That was the agreement because they knew, and that was a controversial thing because theaters were like, well, we'll just pull your fucking movie if you don't give us more split. And then they're saying, well, we won't give you any of our movies then. If you don't want to show Star Wars, we won't show any Disney movies, any Marvel, anything. And then so that they stiffed them, strong-armed them. Obviously, the movie did well enough where it stayed in the box office, but that's how movie theaters make money. And that's all because way, way back in the day, before the movie studios were broken up by the United States government, movie studios owned the movie theaters.
Right.
There were no independent movie theaters, really.
And they would all kind of screen their own movies.
Yep.
So if Fox owned all these Fox theaters, they'd only show Fox movies.
Right.
And so on and so forth. So.
And then the United States government determined that that was a monopoly, so they broke them up, and that started chain theaters. But they still have a stronghold on what they want to show, because the movie theaters that's why popcorn and shit cost so much money, because that's the only way they can stay open. So as I've gone on with film and stuff, I realized that I don't bitch about popcorn prices anymore, as I've learned about all this stuff.
He just doesn't eat popcorn.
Right, exactly. But anyway, no, so definitely Seth Rogen continues to make the movies he wants to make. I guess hats off to him for that, but there's no real path. Like for me, looking at his path, his trajectory as to where he got to, I don't see how someone could like follow that. I feel like he had to have known someone or something. Obviously, Judd Apatow helped him a lot, but
Well,
I
I mean,
don't
that's a
know.
big part of it. He was definitely part of that Judd Apatow little rat pack, and all those freaks and geeks guys, for the most part, are
Yeah,
they're doing
that's
pretty well.
Franco and Seth and what's his name from? Oh my God, he's the dude from. I can see his face. Jason Segel. That's what I was thinking about.
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel's great. I mean, they're all funny. This is the new comedy groups that are here, but I don't know.
So why does Judd Apatow get so much credit for Freaks and Geeks? I just opened up the IMDb, and Paul Feig wrote 18 of the 24 episodes.
I think I believe he's a creator. That's why.
Okay, so it was his concept.
Or he produced it or something. I know Freaks and Geeks and Undeclared were like his two shows.
He was the EP, that's why.
But
So he was the EP, and Paul Feig was the showrunner.
yeah, and he just did Ghostbusters, which I haven't seen.
Oh, really?
Paul.
I haven't seen it either, but it's not. I haven't heard good things about it, which means Daniel's gonna love it.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna watch it. The first Ghostbusters is okay. I have nothing bad to say about it, but I don't see the big deal about it. Well, let me put it this way. I feel like they could have just not made another Ghostbusters movies, period, with guys or girls. Just not made another one.
No, absolutely, it's dated.
Like to
belongs
me,
to-
the whole controversy about that film had nothing to do with. I mean, obviously it had to do with women. A lot of people did not like that, but for me, I just didn't want to see another Ghostbusters movie.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I don't care if fucking Bill Murray came back. I don't want to see another Ghostbusters movie. There's no. Why?
But why?
That's what I'm saying. Why
No,
would
I'm
you?
saying, why don't you want to see another Ghostbusters movie?
Because the fucking movies came out 30 years ago.
Okay.
I don't. If I want to watch Ghostbusters, I'll put on Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2 sucked.
So you're saying it's too new to remake?
No, I'm just saying it doesn't even need to be remade at all.
But you can say that about like almost every remake, unless the original fucking sucked.
So, okay, so so if let's just say they brought back the original cast with the exception of Reitman, who's dead, right? Reitman's dead.
No.
Who's
It's
dead?
is it Reitman?
Pretty sure.
It's the guy with the glasses that was also in Stripes. He died.
I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it's Ivan Reitman.
'Cause he also directed it, didn't he?
But anyway, you can look it up. But my point is, okay, so let's just say you did it the traditional route, which is you bring the cast back.
Harold Ramis died.
Ramis, there you go. I don't know why I said Reitman. I don't know why. Ramis, yeah, Harold
Rest
Ramis.
in peace, Harold.
Yeah. Wow, stupid, because I could see him. Anyway, let's say you brought the old cast back, had them on the movie, and then they have to train the younger generation, right? Like, because obviously they're not going to fucking churn out 3 more movies because they're old.
Right.
So, and if that's the story, it's kind of like Star Wars. It's kind of like, why? Do you really need episode 7, 8, and 9 for Star Wars?
No.
Do you really need it? No. Yeah, it exists now, so sure, why not? But the series is done. Star Wars was finished at 6. They didn't even have to make the prequels, but they did. I don't know. I mean, I like the prequels, but so I'm kind of contradicting myself.
No, I get it. There was no reason to make the movie, and they did. I mean, the whole controversy, whatever, like...
Paul Feig did Spy, though. I like Spy.
I actually liked Spy. Spy was probably the only movie with Melissa McCarthy that I actually liked.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
With
She
50
was funny.
Cent.
She was actually funny in it, and she was funny in it for me because she wasn't doing her normal...
She wasn't playing the fat, like...
Exactly. Like the fat, obnoxious chick with just throwing out, like, random, like, obscenities, you know.
Which is funny in Bridesmaids, which I know you don't like.
Hate that movie.
But I don't know. You just can't keep doing it. It's just not... I don't know. But anyway...
I get it. There was no... I mean, for me, Ghostbusters is like... We look at the originals with these, you know, rose-colored glasses. But if you go back and watch them, they're not that great.
That's why I said Ghost Brothers is okay.
Right. And it's not like... as an '80s baby, like it's not. I don't know. It's not that big a part of the '80s as other movies are. It's
Not
a part
to
of
me.
it.
Not to me. Commando and Predator are bigger than fucking Ghostbusters.
Well, it's pushing it, but it's not Back to the Future. Like
No.
Back to the Future, Karate Kid.
They remade Karate Kid.
I know, which was stupid. I mean, it was a well-made movie, whatever, but it was first of all, karate's Japanese and it takes place in China. You know, like, I don't know. Let's make a karate movie in China with Jackie Chan, a Chinese actor who knows kung fu.
The best part of that movie is when Jackie Chan keeps telling Jaden Smith to jack it off.
Oh,
Jack it off.
see, he likes that joke, but he didn't care for Sausage Party.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's just funny because he's telling him to take his jacket off, but he's Jackie Chan, so he says jack it off.
And it was a kids movie, so they didn't use it as a joke either, right?
Jack it off.
Whatever. But yeah, no. I don't even know how we got on that one. How did we get to Ghostbusters?
I don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I would love to hear back from some of you guys. For those of you that actually enjoyed Sausage Party, we have a Facebook page. It's Daniel and Gian Talk Shh, I believe.
No, it's shit.
Is it shit on the?
it's
Did
shit.
you change the Facebook page?
It's
to?
at DNG Talk. We also have a website too, which we're gonna buy the domain for, so it'll just be dngtalk.com. But right now it's dngtalk.wordpress.com
Okay.
because we're poor.
We are poor. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. Leave comments on the Facebook page. Send us emails. Our email is somewhere. Check us out on SoundCloud. I mean, you're probably listening to us on SoundCloud. We're going to be on iTunes soon.
Yeah, we're waiting for approval.
I
Did you like the musical element of the movie?
I thought it was like a shitty South Park. Like they were trying to go for South Park. The opening so the movie Sausage Party opens with like a total musical number where they're singing a song to the gods.
Which are humans.
Which
Gods
are humans. Humans are gods, and they want to leave the grocery store. Like if you leave the grocery store and you go to the great beyond, then you know
You've made it in life.
Not realizing that they're going to get sacrificed to the intestines of humans.
And there's even a Middle Eastern like joke about how the fucking what is he?
Lavash.
A lavash.
Lavash and a bagel.
And he's gonna get 72 virgin oil.
77 extra virgin oil
rubbed all over
rubbed
him.
all over him. And then there's a Hitler, like there's a German mustard.
He's sauerkraut.
Is he sauerkraut?
I think he's sauerkraut.
I thought it was mustard.
Oh, he is mustard? I thought it was sauerkraut.
It's
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but there's like a whole little like there's a Hitler Nazi element, like
And he's gonna kill all the juice.
he's gonna kill all the juice. Yeah, and that was just thrown in there. Just
These jokes are bad. They're just
bad. They're just like
they're 19-year-old jokes. Like if
Yeah.
you're 19, you came up with these jokes, you'd be the funniest dude ever.
there's no taste. I don't know. Just like they're not.
And see, this is not us hating on tasteless humor or racial humor or anything like that, because it can be funny. But this wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't funny. It wasn't done well.
For example, one of Curb Your Enthusiasm the best episode is the whole Palestinian chicken thing. And it's an episode surrounding a chicken place. Same conflict that's in Sausage Party, but it's a little more tasteful. They're still getting the same points across, and it's fucking hilarious.
Right.
There's no, I guess there would be no,
There's a difference
there's no
between
straight
Larry
guy.
David
There's no straight guy,
Seth
right, in the
Rogen.
movie? There's no like guy you can associate with that
No.
plays all this humor off of. Like Larry David's kind of like the straight guy, right?
Right.
In terms of like the jokes, other people are fucking freaking out, and kind of Larry's just a calm guy, right?
Right.
So there's no character you can identify with. The characters that are in the movie. There's a Stephen Hawking character, and
He's a chewed up piece of gum.
and he's a gum. He's gum. And again, I liked that. Was it great? Was it smart? No, but I like the concept that the smart figure is a piece of gum, and he's able to. So basically, this piece of gum was spit out because, like Gian just said in the movie, all of the food, once they get taken out of the store, they get either thrown away, eaten, cooked, whatever. So that's the whole mystery of the movie is once you leave the store, everyone thinks it's great, but it's not. Everyone dies. And so I did think it was smart that one thing that would survive would be a piece of gum because they say gum doesn't go anywhere or whatever. So this gum was chewed up by a scientist or something and then thrown on the floor and then put somewhere or whatever. So he's been collecting all of this information and he's in a wheelchair powered by a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
And he talks with Stephen Hawking's, whatever his computer's name is.
Yeah, somehow he was able to attach a mini computer to talk for him.
And
I mean, but it's kind of fucked up because it's literally a chewed up piece of gum.
So he has like his body is all like deformed like Stephen Hawking's because he has the muscle disease. What is it called?
I don't even know.
I don't know. But, so I mean, they don't pull any strings. You know, it's very offensive.
Only
it can
punches.
be. Punches. There I go again, mixing up my phrases. But anyway, but it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't work. I think when you're offensive and it works, it's fine. But this just doesn't work.
Basically, almost nothing in this movie works.
Like the whole touching, there's a tip joke, like there's touching the tips.
Yeah, they try to do a just a tip joke because the hot dogs are in a package and the buns are in another package and they can't have sex because they need to stay fresh. So they can't like the hot dog can't insert himself inside the bun until they're at home. So they know their purpose. They know that one goes with the other. But,
which is also weird to me.
Yeah, but they don't know that they're going to get eaten.
They know they're supposed to be inside one another and that's it? Like they're just supposed to sit, like that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right, and somehow somebody thought that was funny.
It's funny to it would be funny to talk about when you're stoned, like you said.
Right.
Because when you start to break any of this down, and I'm sure there are going to be people out there saying, "Well, just don't break it down, just take it as it is," but we're not putting that much thought into it.
No, not at all.
We're literally just talking about it, and just by virtue of us talking about it, we're putting on blast how stupid this shit is, and not in a funny way. Like, it just in a way how just nonsensical it is.
I mean, maybe we need to go and watch it high. And that's like the lamest. Whenever someone says, oh, well, if you didn't see it stoned, then you won't get it. Like, that's so stupid. If I have to physically impair myself to enjoy something, then that means it's not that good.
It's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable.
Like, let's be real. We get drunk because we don't like how things are when we're sober, Like, okay, I'm sober, things kind of suck right now, let's get drunk, and things automatically get better because...
But you shouldn't have to get drunk in order to watch a movie.
Exactly.
Or get stoned to watch Sausage Party.
Exactly.
And I mean, I feel like what we were saying is valid enough to, if Seth were here, I wouldn't...
If anything, weed should be used as an enhancement. Like, something's good
and
already.
then it makes it better.
Right.
Not like, oh, it's shitty, but if you're stoned, then it becomes good.
Right.
No.
Like, don't eat Hot Pockets when you're high. If you're going to eat when you're high because like you have fun eating when you're high.
There's a toilet paper joke. So there's literally potty humor in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, you don't want to know what he does to me or something. And then the joke is that the guy wipes his ass with the toilet paper roll.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make sense to me either. Because if you're a toilet paper roll and you're going to... First of all, the guy at the house must not have a toilet paper roll holder. Because it was just out and about.
Right.
Which, okay, I'll buy that. But these things can walk around and move. Like, wouldn't he leave?
Right, exactly.
Wouldn't you just leave? If you're a big fat toilet paper roll and this dude's been wiping his ass for months, well, not that long, but for a while, and you know that because that toilet paper roll was down. It was almost gone. I mean, I don't know. It's just retarded.
How were they... See, they kind of explained it, but I kind of dozed off for a second. How did they transport the stoner guy's severed head to the grocery store?
So they explain how the head comes off, and that's it. That's another leap of faith.
They didn't explain how they got to the grocery store, how they transported the head.
Well, he explained that he figured out how to drive, I think. he somehow
I
got
heard
him
something
to drive.
about the vents, like in the car, like
I don't know.
something about the AC vents, But
When I saw Michael Cera, I'm like, oh, they're about to bust a Star Wars here. Like, he's not real. This is an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie.
Right.
And then he was actually real. And I'm like, okay, well, how did you do that? And then they explain it, and I'm like, Oh, did you also read that they really didn't, the directors didn't really know what they wanted, which is why that there was so much overtime?
I haven't read
That the editors were just literally shooting, just throwing out ideas and making up scenes.
I haven't read anything about this movie. Like, I try not to read reviews or articles about any movies before I watch them because I just don't want to be like influenced. Because I feel like I already went to film school, so I'm already kind of analyzing shit when I watch it. I don't need other people's opinions clouding my judgment as well, which allowed me to enjoy Suicide Squad.
Yep.
But
no, they were literally just. I don't know if they didn't storyboard this movie. I don't know if they didn't pre-animate it, which is really weird because that's what they usually do. Is they'll pre-animate the movie with like very rudimentary design so they can at least see the movie from start to finish. They'll do that on regular movies like Life of Pi. They did that. They'll just do that where they'll literally make the movie as an animation, even live action movies, and it looks really shitty, but at least you know what's going on.
right, like the Deadpool promo.
Right. Well, Deadpool promo is more involved. It's even worse than that in terms of quality because it's
Okay.
like just super raw.
Right.
It would be like filming a movie with like G.I. Joe figures,
Okay.
just so you could see what it would be and like how long a scene's going to be. They do that. But anyway, yeah, I was reading an article that the animators were just like making up, not scenes, but like how a shot should look, or like should we do this or we should do that, and then they would figure out from there. It was like a shit show. That's what was taking so long. It's because they didn't know, there was no clear vision as to like, oh, okay, when the propane tanks light on fire, he's gonna circle around the the movie store, the grocery store and fly out or something. Like they didn't figure that out apparently. Not that one specifically, but things like that. And they were just coming up with like, oh, well, what if we did this type of camera angle where it swooped in, or it did this, or what, which is just fucking crazy for animation.
Yeah.
Because you can be animating for a week on a 2-minute scene, and then for them to be like, nah, we don't like it, or nah, we just change it. That's fucking crazy. Talking about wasting money. Because that's,
Ugh.
well, I guess they didn't waste money if they weren't paying these people.
Right.
But, if they were to just fucking plan it out better, then they wouldn't have had to be in, at the end of the day, it's fucked up.
Right.
At the end of the day, and I feel bad for Annapurna for being associated with that, because, they probably don't give a shit because they're making money. We know people who work with Annapurna, and I'm curious to hear what they have to say.
They came in second behind Suicide Squad. They made $34.3 million, so they definitely made their budget.
They
back.
made their budget. Right now they're probably even. It's a $19 million film. They probably spent $5 to $10 million on print and advertising. So right now it's an broken even film. They're happy, I'm sure, because it's going to make more money this weekend.
Right.
Because I'm sure, I really do feel like you and I are in the minority with this. I really do feel like people like this movie.
Well,
Although I didn't hear a lot of people laughing. I did hear this fucking 15-year-old kid next to me laughing.
I heard this
really
39-year-old kid to my right laughing.
Oh, to my left?
To your left, yeah.
Yeah, I heard
He was laughing he didn't laugh at the beginning, and then once it got rolling, like, he started laughing at everything.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, he's not liking this movie either. He's not laughing.
And then somewhere along the line,
It kicked on.
yeah, it kicked on about halfway through, like.
He realized his reality. He realized what world he was in.
Right, and the generic jokes started making him crack up. So
Really
it's
generic.
82% critics, 64% user
Audience?
score.
Good.
So I don't think people aren't telling people to watch this movie. I don't know.
It was boring. It was boring.
More than anything,
At the end of the day, like, would I watch another hardcore rated R movie that's animated? Sure. I'm not opposed to it. I didn't really care for the concept, but I would watch one. But people are saying like, "Oh, this is the new Fritz the Cat. This is the new cult film."
It's not the new heavy metal either. It's
Well, it's not. And it's this is the new cult classic for animated movies, and there'll never be another one again because whatever. And it's like, it was boring. At the end of the day, it was
It
boring.
was just, yeah.
It's a 80-minute movie that felt like a 2.5-hour film.
Yeah.
It felt long.
No, it was
Even when I
definitely-
recognize the beats, like when he fails like halfway and they go, everyone goes their separate ways. I'm like, fuck, this movie's only halfway done. And I was like, this, and it only had been like 30 minutes.
Right.
And I was like, God damn, like this is a good 10-minute short film.
Right.
At the end of if they made this into a 10-minute short film, it would be great. I really think it would be
I don't
great.
know if it'd be great.
I think it would be great because then the jokes, that's a one note the one note joke can last about 10 minutes,
Right.
and then you're not.
Unless you don't like that one note.
Well, sure, whatever. But it wasn't, to me, it wasn't a, I don't know. I guess kudos to Pixar for making good movies for adults. Because this is an adult making a movie for another adult.
Right.
Or maybe it's an adult making a movie for kids. Because, I mean, if I was in high school, well, I probably wouldn't like this in high school, but I feel like high schoolers would think this is hilarious.
Right, because it's on their level.
And it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to be watching this because it's rated R.
Right.
I'm not an adult yet. Oh, this is what adult
There
humor
was,
is like.
there was a handful of people at that theater that were, I mean, the theater
The
was...
meatloaf joke. There's a meatloaf.
I like
joke.
that one.
That was
the
funny.
meatloaf was, it was meatloaf, and it was his actual song. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I forget what movie that was from.
And
It came out in the early '90s. It's not his.
And meatloaf is played by a meatloaf,
By a packaged meatloaf.
which I've never seen packaged meatloaf in the store.
I think they have it at Trader Joe's.
Oh. Yeah, this store was definitely. Oh, and there's MILF jokes in the movie.
There is a MILF joke. That was stupid. That was just like, oh, pick up the douche in aisle 6 for this MILF.
That guy's played by Paul Rudd, which I didn't know,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
It should have been Justin Long. Where's Justin Long in all of this? What happened to Justin
He's
Long?
busy with Kevin Smith, making Kevin Smith
Oh,
movies.
he's Kevin Smith's guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Dante's not... I mean, Dante was never a good actor.
Yeah, Justin Long's with. He's in the new sausage. Kevin Smith has a sausage movie.
What, Yoga Hosers?
Yeah. They turn into Nazi sausages.
There's sausages in the movie?
Yeah, like they turn into
Shut the
sausages.
fuck up.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one we're probably going to talk shit about, too. We're going to talk about the rise
Oh, I'm
and
gonna
fall.
bootleg that one.
We're gonna-
Sorry, Kevin Smith, if you're listening, because I am not gonna pay to watch that movie.
We're going to talk about the rise and fall of Kevin Smith.
He's supposed to be doing Clerks 3. It's supposed to be a 3-hour movie.
Oh, 3 hours. Oh, my God. Have you heard about the shit going on with his daughter? Like, people are like...
Calling her a whore.
Yeah.
Because
like,
of that?
Come on, guys. She's a 16-year-old
She's
girl.
not even an adult yet.
You know, I don't understand. The internet, man, people have so much courage because they can hide behind their computer screen.
And I don't even understand it either. Like, what is she? She's not doing anything wrong. It's
No.
not her fault that her best friend is fucking Johnny Depp's daughter.
It's not.
That she was birthed from Kevin Smith's jizz. That's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
She's rich.
I mean, she's a kid. I mean, how rich are they really? Like,
I don't know how much, but
I
Kevin,
mean, he's living comfortably for
he
sure.
doesn't have to
but-
worry about anything.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would say like.
I think. Well, okay, look, he has. I don't know if Comic Book Men got canceled on AMC, but that's a show on
Right.
AMC that he's producing or executive producing. He's getting a cut of that
Right.
for sure. He has a new show on AMC coming out. I forgot what it's called. It's another talk show that's making money.
Okay.
His podcasts are making money, just by him podcasting in general. But he also does a podcast where he goes and have people pay money to watch
been
his
to
podcast.
one, the Smodcast.
The Smodcast.
I went
So
to
that's
one.
making money.
Yeah.
He directed. He's starting to get into TV. He directed a Flash
That's
episode.
where he's making his money. So, one of my mentors was a directing teacher at USC, and I had no idea how much TV directors make. And then she invited me to her house for like a networking event, and it was in Larchmont, which is a upper class neighborhood right next to Hollywood. And
It's like a Beverly Hills.
and this thing was like, yeah, her house was fucking insane. And I was like, oh, So that's what TV directed
And
movie.
that's why I
gets
think
you.
that TV money, man.
Like, man, that was crazy.
There's no money like TV.
But
Genuinely.
um,
But so there's that, and then he's also doing he's making all that money so he can just fucking do whatever he wants
Right.
on these features.
right. Well, I just realized that we just completely went off on a tangent and a completely different like universe right now.
That's okay.
But
That's because Sausage Party is so fucking lame that you can't sustain a full podcast.
no,
on it.
there's like so much stuff that we couldn't talk about.
There's
'cause
so
there was
much-
nothing to talk about.
So Sausage Party is the type of movie that would be on. If Mystery Science 3000 came out, I would want them to do that movie, where they would just talk shit about it for the whole duration, because you can easily talk shit about how stupid it
because
is.
it's so short.
Well, not only that, it's just not. It's not good. It's just
Right.
not good.
So if Seth Rogen, if you're listening to this, we will totally do the extras on the DVD, where we watch the movie and just fucking rip it.
I like Seth Rogen.
I don't mind him. That's, you know, as a person, I just kind of frustrated that he keeps getting these opportunities.
I would have rather have seen 19 $1 million movies as opposed to one $19 million
I
Sausage
get
Party
you.
movie.
I get it. I don't know. Have you finished watching Preacher yet? Have you even started watching
I haven't
Preacher?
even started it. Is it done?
It's done, yeah.
Because
You have like
I'm so into binge watching now that I just
2
wait.
months left to watch it on AMC if you have an AMC at your house.
I have Time Warner Cable. I don't know.
So if you have AMC, then you can watch it online. I think there's like a little less than 2 months left. You can watch every single episode.
Why the new season's coming out already?
No, it's not that. I don't know the format
Oh.
at all. I don't even know if they renewed it, to be honest with you.
Why is it good?
I think it picks up. I liked it.
Well, that's their show too.
I know it's their show. So I was like, I know a lot of people are complaining about it. A lot of the hardcore comic book fans. I had read the first few episodes years ago, and I never like.
Well, maybe Preacher-esque shows are things that they want to do.
Maybe, yeah.
So doing Sausage Party is allowing them to do Preacher.
I think Preacher, you know, and a lot of Preacher, they had source material. You know, the source material was, you know.
Yeah, but if
they
they weren't
used a lot of the source
making
material.
money, they wouldn't be able to use their clout to make Preacher.
Right. I hear they're going to make The Boys, which is another comic book series.
See,
That's
so
supposed to
maybe
be on
that's what they
Cinemax.
wanted. Maybe that's what they want.
Maybe that's,
I
you
mean,
know.
they did, hate it or not, they did do Green Hornet.
Right.
So
They fucked up source material there.
whatever. It's
Um,
personally,
There's a reason why they haven't even thought about making a second one yet.
they're not going to make. It didn't make enough money.
Exactly.
It's just at the end of the day, like Green Lantern.
I don't
know you
think they're not gonna trust him and the other guy with big money to make stuff. That's one thing. Like their niche is gonna be like the kind of mid-level stuff.
Yeah.
Where it'll make a solid profit, but it won't.
The $30 to $50 million
right.
range.
I mean, the TV
tops.
stuff. I have no idea how AMC makes their money, other than having like
Advertising,
awesome
I
shows.
guess. DVD sales, I don't know either.
I think a lot of people. I would love to bring someone else on after you watch Walking Dead. I'd love to bring someone else on and have like a real like,
What, Fear or The Walking Dead or
Preacher,
Oh, Preacher.
and have like a discussion about Preacher, like from different perspectives.
No, I'll watch Preacher. I do want to see it. I didn't know if it was done or not. I want to watch it start to finish.
Right. So, anyways, folks, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Let's see, what can we talk about next? Next time up, are there movies coming out this weekend? Oh no, the next one's gonna be great. I think we talked about it on 1.5 for
Yeah.
a second, but for the next episode, we're gonna set up a Tinder profile for Daniel and have some fun with that.
Looking for love in all the right places.
I am fascinated by the world of internet dating. Like, it's still like, even though there's so much of it out there, it's still kind of considered taboo, and people are like ashamed of it. And Daniel has never done it, so I think it'll be fun to mess around on his Tinder and see what kind of responses we get or whatever. Just, you know, in general. I mean, maybe we'll set it up and have him fuck with it for a week, and then we'll talk about it after he's like maybe even gone on some dates. You know, we're gonna have to Photoshop his face, obviously, because that's.
I'm gonna just put my face as a sausage.
There you go.
I was a voice.
You know, but yeah. So
Yeah, this podcast is not all movies. I know the first two have
well,
been.
1.5 is not. 1.5 is about virtual reality.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see how that comes out and how many of you guys listen to
War
it.
Dogs is coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch War Dogs. I don't see. That's one I don't know if I can support because it's got two people I hate in it. I'm like,
Jonah Hill and
I
Miles Teller.
want to watch it because the guy from The Hangover is attached to it.
He directed it.
Um,
Todd Phillips?
yeah, because Todd Phillips is attached to it, but at the same time, it got Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. Although Jonah Hill's fat again, so maybe I'll give it a chance because
Fat Jonah Hill's
he's
good
like
Jonah Hill.
beyond fucking fat. Like he is. I don't know what he ate to get. I mean, I know what he ate. He ate everything. He ate an entire person.
It was prep work for Sausage Party.
Was
He
it?
had to become a sausage.
Okay. Oh, he wasn't even in Sausage Party, huh?
Yes, he was.
His voice was in it?
He was the one who gets slit in half by the milk.
Oh, yeah, he was in it for like 30 seconds because he was too busy eating for War Dogs.
That's what I'm saying. He had a.
Oh.
That's why that package was so tight. He was fucking breaking out of it.
Well, Ben-Hur also comes out.
Fuck that movie.
Why are you anti-Ben-Hur?
Because I've seen the original and,
The original came out in like 1932.
well, there's two.
I'm okay with this remake because this is almost 100 years ago.
Well, the trailers look terrible. I'll watch The Mechanic. Don't Breathe, I'm going to see. It's actually, there's a screening
coming
tonight
out
at
this week
USC.
too?
Yeah, it's a horror movie, so you're not going to watch it. I already saw Hands of Stone.
No, I saw the
The trailer.
the trailer for Don't Breathe. It's kind of a horror movie, but
It's a horror movie.
but no. It's more
It's a
of a
thriller.
suspense thriller.
Yeah.
But no, here's my issue with it already is you're bad guy. These guys break into this dude's house. Your bad guy
Is the good guy.
has every fucking reason to kill these people for breaking into his house. You know what I mean? That's just like
That's what I'm saying. He's a good guy.
That's yeah. So
You want him to win at the end of the day.
yeah. Like how am I supposed to like? I don't understand. Like if the whole time I want to see these people die. So it's just weird. Like
That's the American in you.
I guess don't you think that's kind of a weird concept? Like how am I supposed to root against the villain when he's completely in the right?
And he's blind.
You know, and he's blind.
And he's blind.
Yeah,
Not only-
so the trailer is like these three kids find out that this blind dude has hella money, and they're like, we're gonna break into his house and rip off this blind dude.
Because he's blind, so fuck him. He's not gonna be able to
Because
see
they have
us.
issues at home because their parents suck. I mean, I guess it's a statement about like
And then they realize they broke into the wrong motherfucker's house.
right, exactly. Sounds like a movie that we know, kinda. There's Kubo and the Two Strings, another animated film.
The movie I want to see right now, that I don't know where it's playing. It's probably only playing at the ArcLight. Is Hell and High Water.
I want to see that. Yeah, I don't think it's at ArcLight. Yeah,
That's
I'm
the,
sure it's just not wide release yet.
That's the movie I want to see.
There's a movie Imperium where it looks like Harry Potter is playing an undercover
Oh, I heard that movie's good.
Nazi.
He's playing it. Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff coming out this weekend, folks, and you know we may see one of them and talk about it. So, anyways, goodbye. Like just for real this time. Thanks for listening. Find us on SoundCloud. Find us on Facebook. Look out for iTunes. We're gonna be on iTunes soon. dngtalk.wordpress.com. Just look up Daniel and Gian Talk Shit. You'll find us somewhere. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right. Later, bitches.